good whatever to you whenever you are watching this episode of the St. Cloud Moron Show, or as it's known on Twitch, the St. Cloud Divorce Show. And maybe I should have kept it at the Divorce Show. I did get about double the views with Divorce rather than Moron. But I am your host, Dylan, and this is my Spurg. Welcome, my Spurg. My co-host, Spurg Snake. How was your morning?
Pretty good. Not too bad. Yesterday was a bit of an adventure. There is residual hurricane storms coming through. So
you weren't sure if you were going to make it. Yeah, thank you for finding that hotspot for the 4G, 5G in your house to join me today. And with video. Didn't think there was going to be video, but you're making it work. You're showing more figure it outness than Steel Toe, I believe.
Yeah, I'm a troubleshooter by nature. That's if something ain't working, I gotta fix it. So if I'm stuttery or something happens, that's why I'm on a cell phone.
And if I'm stuttery, it's just because I am a stutter fuck.
I've been through that recently too. I was doing that the other day, especially playing Family Feud. I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing or how to spell. I'm the worst speller that ever existed.
There was a couple of weeks where I wasn't going back and watching my episodes. I was like, I'm doing so much better at the stuttering, and nope. It just kind of fucking happens, and I've just got to be honest with it. And hopefully, Dr. Steve can diagnose me soon as a stutter fuck or not. And we will be getting into a few chatting with episodes on every other week that isn't the St. Cloud Moron Show. And you sent me the audiobook that I'm looking for. We will get into another lolcow coming up in a few weeks. That'll be after we do some Tales from the Crypting for Halloween, reaching for those people looking for some creepy content views. Maybe season by season. I was thinking of best of or worst of. So I don't know. Maybe 2 episodes, maybe 7 episodes. Yeah, whatever seems more clickbaity. I think best of and worst of seems more clickbaity to random people than season by season. So that's why I'm leaning towards that.
Yeah. If you're gonna push a strong opinion, I think you're gonna get more clicks. But like this is the best, and immediately somebody's gonna have to disagree. So. That's probably,
and it is up to interpretation because there are some that are good horror episodes. There's one season that they basically go full on comedy. There's a Catherine O'Hara episode that is not fun, not scary at all. It's just absolutely silliness.
I gotta watch that. There's some that are much less scary, or Twilight Zone-y, and just absolute hilarity. I'm pretty sure it was a Twilight episode when there was a fat guy that was in prison. Like he was super obese and he was pulling strings from the prison and they finally caught him. But I digress. We'll get into Tales from the Crypty stuff.
Yeah, that is an upcoming clickbaity type episode, as this is a clickbaity type episode, because Goofing on Aaron Imholte is absolutely in. And I might be mispronouncing it. It might be Aaron. I have heard that pronunciation, Mark Bass. Captain Miserable, we are so close to hitting the subscriber goal. We are within striking distance of 16 subscribers to get to monetization. And unfortunately, Blind Mike did not get to his $10,000 goal this past Sunday. He was a beaten and broken man doing a parody of Aaron's Begathon by hour 4. He went like 5 hours, like 3.5 hours in. He was like broken and he just kept going with the bit.
Yeah, he was. I could tell he was getting a little tired. Dude, I could barely handle 2.5 hours. Like 2 hours in a chair like this is kind of getting to I got to stand up, stretch. I don't know, man. I got bad joints.
We're doing an internet show here. We're not doing a radio show, and that's part of the parody of doing the 5 hours. Is that if you hit the goal with Aaron, you get 5 hours, and then he's going to come back later in the night and do what? Another 3 hours?
2.5. Yeah, it's 4.5 in the morning, 2.5 at night, 7 total for the day. That's too much, Aaron. He doesn't realize that he's like, and I'll always go back to the video game crash. Like he's saturating the market with his own product. He's competing with himself at this point.
Just like when Stuttering John came back from his hiatus and he did 3 hours a day, 3 days a week. It was like, no. Do 1 3-hour show. Even 3 hours is too much for you, John. Do a guest appearance and do a paywall once a week. But he really pissed on the fire that was created for the wanting of Stuttering John, and everyone went right back to listening to Carl and because he was getting a good amount of people. I was in there in the chat room for a few weeks. He came back just in time to fuck up my version of the Stuttering John Shuley Detractor Show, which was a much better put together Shuley Detractor Show than what John put forth.
Yeah, well, John's low effort. He's not putting any effort forth. And that's what I mean. Like, I think if I was to do this, not full time, but you know what, like how you're doing, 3 2-hour shows a day. That's it. Or 3, you know what I'm saying? 3 days, 2 hours a day. That's pretty good.
And when I was up to 5, that was when I had no job. And maybe if I go back to, I think like a 4th day a week, that's paywall stuff. So yeah. We are getting close to doing some paywall stuff. Like Luigi Greenberg and I, we may have to find where 90210 is streaming and jump into the Ray Pruitt episodes and the Noxzema Girl episodes. There is a fuckload of episodes. I don't think we can start from the beginning. If I were to recruit Luigi Greenberg for that, there is like 250 fucking episodes of that.
Wow. Well, I didn't realize that show was on so long. You know what? And I bet you Baywatch is the same way. You're going to find out there's like 700 episodes of Baywatch or something. Before
there's already a lady covering Baywatch. I wasn't a fan of Baywatch. Lupa Obscura, I think, used to be her name. Now she goes by her real name. But I was not a fan of Baywatch. But this Baywatch nerd dissecting the episodes is absolutely fun. And yet it ran through the entire 90s, like 90210.
Yeah.
There are a shitload of episodes. Married with Children, there's like 250 as well.
Oh, shit, dude. Yeah, I didn't think there was that many, but I know that show was on a long time. That was one of the last sitcoms I remember they added a kid just to throw a kid in them. Here's 7, have a kid.
Luigi Greenberg is down. We will put that behind the paywall for sure. That's for people who's already a fan of us and wanting more, much like the Quincy watch along with Blind Mike over there. He is a great person to take a model from. Aaron, not a great person to take the model from. And we're getting close to 10 minutes of happy talk here. Dick teasing you of what's going on in the Aaron Imholte universe. We don't want to tease you too much longer, lest we go down and get a job at a strip club. And that wasn't a full-on dud of a joke that needs Duke Phillips, but that was a stinky joke. It happens with these live streams. So
it's first at bat, you're okay.
First up, we have more of Aaron's. He loves Kayla Ricada still to this day. You can hear it in his voice, and we've got some examples of that right
so
here.
Bad. Dude, this is so bad. Go ahead.
Hey, can I tell you a secret?
What?
This is not a secret because it's on the show.
Uh-huh.
Kayla's stepdad sent me a Facebook message today.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know what that means. He said, it's me. Hey, Aaron, can you give me a call? And then gave me his number.
Mm-hmm. You might want to wait till tomorrow to make that call, sir.
Oh, yeah. And I also want to call him.
The elder Ricada. Well, not the elder Ricada. The elder-in-law of Ricada looking to get into some swinging. He saw Slam Piece, and he was like, hey, I think she can be part of a throuple. So that is where I'm going with that. Stallion 19 is our first clipper. I forgot to mention that. So thank you for bringing this longing for Kayla. Thank goodness he's not talking about her anymore, right?
No, yeah, I know. And I heard it the other day, too. If this isn't the full clip of that, there's other clips where he keeps bringing her up. He is so hurt that he didn't steal Nick's wife. He thought that she was really in love with him. And I don't think that.
I think she was playing her part of being this Slam Piece to get April. I think she was like, okay, I will be the pawn so we can get this queen inside our castle.
Yes, no, I agree. They were planning to get her, snake her out of that relationship. He was definitely the one that I'm sure they were happy to have him at first. And then, Aaron's personality reveals itself and you're just like, this guy's got to fucking go. Also, what's up, Stallion? He's in the chat.
Yeah, dropping by. He is a regular in here. So thank you, Stallion, for your clips. And thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you as well, Dirty Dalish, and for the compliment. I've got to reach out to you for a chatting with. Part 2 of the interview, because your style was a dating game. Get to know Dylan. I've got to do an interview style, getting to know Dalish. Hackride was disappointed that it wasn't more of a back and forth, that was the style you went with, more of a dating game. I could have tried to steer you into a little bit of me, a little bit of you, but I let you lead because it was your channel. So I'm going to get to know Dirty Dalish a little more on a chatting with.
Yep, her channel popped up in my feed, so if you guys want to subscribe, she's been playing Telltale games, which I haven't. I don't know the story for The Walking Dead. I played Batman, and that was it. I think I'm too slow with the action. Like, they got prompts where you gotta pay attention, and I'll be smoking a bowl or whatever, watching the story, and then it's like, oh, hit the A button quickly, and I'm like, whoa.
Oh, miss that quick time event.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Stoners and QuickTime events don't really go together too well. But anywho, let's get back to, dude, he is so in love with, speaking of dating and loving, dude, she was, like you said, playing her role and had him hook, line, and sinker. And then once he started being a bitch boy, they were like, we got to get you out of here.
Call him. I also want to call him and be like, what is this in regards to?
That would be very interesting.
This is getting, I'm sorry to touch.
We're getting touchy
I'm
now.
worried that this is in regards
At least
to,
grab my tit if you're going to touch.
You know how you and I talked about it on the show the other day when someone asked, like, would you help her if she needed help? And I said, well, I know meetings she can go to. And I'm worried.
No, that wasn't you and I.
That was me and Johnny.
Yeah.
Other girl.
The other girl, yes.
And I'm worried because I always liked him and he always really liked me. And I remember yesterday I talked on the show about him. I'm like, he's my favorite.
Does he really like Envy too?
Yeah, no, he's very envious. That's his.
That's the movie he keeps quoting as of late with the Christopher Walken, and it just hit me last night. Oh, I do remember that. It was a Jack Black and Ben Stiller movie, Evaporate. Jack Black made this spray that made shit evaporate instead of having.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
For some reason, I never watched that movie. It seems like a silly enough premise, but I do believe that was a bomb at the time, and of course. Like, people don't remember that one. It seems like just vaguely enough people remember Multiplicity for jokes like this one of him being the copy of a copy of Anthony Cumia, and that's a almost an equally obscure reference. I guess the reference just works so well that people who remember that movie are like, yeah, you're fucking right.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. It's a spot on analogy. If you can remember it. And dude, I remember that movie now because Ben Stiller was extremely jealous of Jack Black, right? Like, he lived right across the street, bought a mansion. It was a really silly premise, but it
for some reason I skipped that movie.
Yeah,
like it
I think
hit
I
me
watched
last
it.
night. I remember the trailers for that. It seemed silly. It had people who I liked in it, but for some reason I just didn't check it out. That does seem like some bonus content as well of let's watch along these obscure movies Aaron doesn't stop talking about. At least the obscure movies like Used Cars I did an episode on, which will definitely be behind a paywall since YouTube is not allowing that to be up. And I am happy that a few of our beloved chatters were also familiar and was able to introduce a few people to that before YouTube was like, nah, gonna yank that down.
Yeah, no, and that's a great movie. I was in stitches the whole time. It was an accurate 80s comedy. And like you said, the best car chase thing going, the convoy at the end. Oh, here we go again with Happy Talk. Just a good movie.
Long movie violation, but they hit the style of the time of a big car chase at the end, but with shitty cars instead of the top of the line cars like every other movie was doing. And now getting back onto Aaron before we start being too Aaron and talking about obscure movies for the entire show. Kayla's stepdad is bringing Lunchables. So unlike the SpaghettiOs, you don't even need to heat them up. You just throw the Lunchables at them, and they are all good. So no, not even that extra effort of microwaving needed there.
Favorite
Lunchables.
Yeah.
And now I'm worried he wants to talk to me about like helping or getting involved. Because if he was calling me.
You can.
If he was calling me to be like, stop talking about this shit, he would have done that a long time ago.
Yeah.
So if he's calling me to like help or something, like no
all
offense.
You can really do is give the info. You can't.
I don't
throw
know
yourself back in.
Here's the thing. I don't know if I want to talk. I love him. I really do. I think Kayla's stepdad is one of the sweetest human beings in the world. I love him. I love the man. I love him.
I am going to ask him for her hand in marriage.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't want to go back behind that curtain.
That's what I'm saying. You can offer, give the options, give all the different scenarios. Like go to here, go to this place. Like here's ways you can get help.
Right.
Beyond that, you can't throw yourself back into it, dude.
Yeah. He called me way before that. If it was about not talking shit about his daughter.
Right. Yeah.
And not only that, the one person I spoke to after they got arrested was Kayla's mother. Like I talked to Kayla's mom to make sure the kids were okay and they were okay and, whatever. McBuster says Keekums and Gino are scumbags. Good riddance. They don't deserve to be mentioned when the HBO people come knocking about the polycule in a month.
Kiki seemed to get some goodwill and then just immediately burn it to the ground. That's what it seems to me, the way that she started going after Aaron. And it's like, ooh, this is what we like from people right now. And then, you Clippers, I'm going to report you because Chrissy Mayer told me so. Just burn that goodwill to the ground.
Yeah, 100%. She's went to war with the Clippers, and that's not a good idea.
They help your channel. People have talked about how NLO is happy with the Clippers, and to my knowledge, that does appear to be the case. They're helping promote his channel in a smaller form, so he doesn't need to pull his clips himself or hire someone and pay them money to clip.
Right. I think the only person that he puts pressure on to clip is Doom, and it's like a playful kind of thing between him and Doom. Like he likes Doom the way Doom clips, but. I remember one of our first shows, I specifically said, clip the shit out of this guy, saturate it, because everybody else will make money on Aaron other than Aaron. And he is missing the goal more often lately. And he said that, and I'm like, that's because you never lowered the goal. Your fans are going to lower the goal for you because you said something and then didn't do it. We're gonna
he's already spent that goal money, though. It went from paying for April's truck, which maybe it's paid off now, to giving Johnny a raise.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the guys now.
I spent that money that you're going to give me.
Well, that's the thing. And his expenses, he keeps running his mouth about his expenses. He's got a lawn care service. He goes golfing on the weekends. He's buying shots for people. That's expensive shit, dude. For somebody who can't keep his show going and has to hit the goal, he sure is having a lot of fun in his free time.
That was something when I was dirt poor in Los Angeles, and I had no job over the summer. I quit my summer job on May 31st because I was like, my life will be less miserable if I just stare at the wall. So when I did go out to stop staring at the wall, keeping myself from going mad, I was able to sharpen up my charm to get people to buy drinks for me. It was always dudes. I've gotten one woman once to buy a drink for me, when I was dirt cheap poor, and it was like I gotta go, but mostly it was just dudes like, what are you drinking? I'm like, I'm on a budget. I had my one. This is social hour. Let me get you a drink. I wasn't buying people shots. No, you are not the buying shots type of person, Aaron. You are begging for money. Actually, that is very hobo-like of sharing it amongst the other hobos. There is community amongst the hobos. When they get money, they share it with the rest of the hobo community.
Oh, yeah. You got to take care of your friends.
No, it's a guy. Okay, the guy, I do have this confirmed. The guy who was contacting me, because
I almost got him.
The guy who was contacting me, I thought he was a phony. I thought he was fake.
Yep.
The guy who was like, I work with a studio who works with Lifetime.
Yeah.
To put movies on.
Yeah.
And I've got more clips about that. So we will return to this subject of the Lifetime movie producer.
And I watch a lot of YouTube drama stuff, and I'm interested in this Ricada thing. You seem to be the only one talking. Would you like to work on a screenplay with me? And would you like to give... He was also...
You're the only one dumb enough to talk.
Asking me to...
Want to talk some more?
permission to use my identity in said screenplay, and he wanted to work with me on it. And I thought he was full of shit.
Yep.
So I asked him a few questions, and he sent me like all this shit. It turns out he's like a junior producer who like really wants to move up at his studio, and he feels like him watching the internet dramas finally paid off. And like this
this one's got some shit.
Yeah, and he's like, this is gonna be the one that puts me up to the next level and moves me up at the studio. So this guy wants to use me to like move up at this. I wish I could remember the name of the studio. If he told me, I'm sure he wouldn't mind if I mentioned.
Oh, I might have actually doubled up on this clip. I might not have realized that he went through this whole thing on this and doubled up. We'll find out, and we'll just skip the clip if I doubled up on it. And thank you, Gearheads, for checking out, who saw me for the first time over there by almost getting the goal. Only $7,000 off of the goal from Blind Mike Geary.
Very close, within striking distance. You guys were within that amount of the goal, and there was plenty of overtime.
Yeah, that first countdown, I thought he was going to cut it off. I was like, shit, didn't actually get in plugs, and no, there was another 2 hours of show. And I was like, hooray! Thanks for letting me get in the plugs. I called in late for work that day, and when it kept going, there's one point where you see me fiddling around. I added another hour to going in late for work that day because it just kept going.
Yeah, that was so fun too. Like it was genuinely hilarious. And Blind Mike made a fan out of Pulper. I don't know. Some people in the chat might remember who Pulper 80 is. He shows up. He's very far West Coast, so his time is much different than ours.
You say very far West Coast, sounds like a Hawaiian.
Yeah, I think pretty much. And he hung out most of the day yesterday. Like I'm pretty good friends with him. We joke around a lot, and right there. Electors popped in, and it was kind of like a telethon. Like people stopped in and hung out for a while, and then other people came in, and I can't believe you guys made so much money. I'm very proud of like the community, like good people.
They played into the goal. $2
at a time.
I wish I could remember all the people who were tipping over and over again. And it's funny how, yesterday, not recalling that Big Lou Skunt had been here before. Like I can remember being in the chat with other people like better than I can remember my own shows and chat streams. It's weird how the mind works like that.
Yeah, I understand. I saw Big Lou yesterday too. I was watching your show at my mom's house earlier in the morning. We were just kind of hanging out watching.
Thanks for finding a place that had some internet eventually. And we found where my threshold is for primal play. I am property in the sheets, human in the streets. I'm not wearing that leather dog outfit outside the house. Actually, I don't want to wear it inside the house either. And I want to have human toys while I'm in the kennel. Leave me with my Nintendo Switch in the kennel so I can have some fun. I won't like the squeaky toys, but some human toys in my kennel while you're out making money for the both of us, and I don't need to worry about work myself.
100%, dude. Yeah, I agree. I got my 3DS in arm's reach most of the day, just because I want to pick up and play something. That was a good episode. That was very interesting, and Papa Meat's a good channel to watch as well.
He just came on my radar, and seeing that he's talking about what I've been talking about, I'm like, oh, perfect. Come aboard, Mr. Papa Meat. His puppets. He's got some solid Pee-wee's Playhouse type of puppets. I do need to. I think I might become a legit fan of his. And as I said, with his back and forth with his producer, he's got a Gelman. He's a Regis. Let me be your Kathy Lee and talk about cute little Cody.
And he also Papa Meat does a show at Wendigoon, which I'm pretty sure you're familiar with him too.
Yes, I'm familiar with Wendigoon, and I was found out that Annie O'Ryan, who mentioned she's playing Grounded, I've got to jump on that as well. I've been doing a lot of editing, getting ahead of some of the TikToks, but Grounded coming up on Annie's show. What is this game with Dayla? Stutter fuckness hits when you least expect.
There you go. It's sneaking up on you, buddy.
Mentioned it.
Yeah.
Oh wow, Dead Game's got something for me. I got to look it up in Kiwi Farms. That guy, if he, I'm not against working with the guy.
Uh-huh.
Put it that way. Listen to the conditions under which I had to get something notarized in Minnesota. Okay, there's a lot of pages on Kiwi Farms. I don't have this ready. Can you give me the
specific thing?
Could you send me a link to the exact post on Kiwi Farms? State of Minnesota versus Kayla Christine Ricada. Okay.
Okay, we kind of wind down here. I thought there was more to this clip. Let me jump ahead because this is just a little bit of nothingness here in the middle. I did not make a note to jump ahead. So let's just jump ahead, see if we get into something here instead of just some murmuring.
I just got a probable cause thing because April and I were talking about a person we're not allowed to talk about on the show.
It really makes me giggle when he talks about his first wife in any way, shape, or form. You're still talking about her. There is is it an injunction? I don't know the exact words. Legally, you are not allowed to talk about her. And third party, wink, wink, trying to be Howard Stern talking about Sirius in 2009 about his first ex-wife.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. That's I remember. I wonder when you did it. I forgot where it came from. Like does over the name. He doesn't get it. He thinks he can talk around shit, and he can't. He's not good at it. He isn't obfuscating enough that you don't know it's his first wife, or you know who he's talking about when he says it's somebody I can't talk about. You know exactly who it is. And he thinks he can usurp. Speaking of usurping, he thinks he can do that to every rule. Like, he keeps boasting about the illegal lottery. It's like, yeah, dude, you were running an illegal lottery. That's not a disputable fact. That you were doing that. Just because you didn't get caught.
I did hear on the Jim Cornette podcast this past week of promoters back in the old days of wrestling doing a similar thing where you buy the wrestling program and the getting in the lottery is then free. I'm like, oh, holy shit, that actually is a thing. I wonder if Aaron was actually doing that right, but that is an actual thing of you buy the bumper sticker and the lottery comes with it. So that really made me laugh. It took me right to Aaron of buy the program for the show and you're entered into the lottery. I'm like, holy shit, that was the bumper sticker thing he was doing. Did he? And it makes me curious, want to do some digging. Maybe we're the wrong ones of that illegal lottery.
Now you got me questioning myself, but I'm pretty sure that's not like you have to have an alternate no purchase necessary type of thing. If it's a sweepstakes, if it's a lottery, you have to purchase a ticket. And that's what he was doing. Here's stickers and you get 1 billion entries, but you don't see any of it. He's still like he's like stealing a candy bar from a store and they're not going to put in a $1,000 security system to catch somebody who's stealing $10 worth of product a month, you know. So he'll continue to get away with it just because other people don't care. But if you want to check into it, look into that Mr. Beast video that's going around. He's getting in trouble for promoting the same style of I'm going to give this away, and it never happens.
There's been a few YouTubers that have gotten in trouble for that. I do love the Dark Side Phil giveaways where he was giving away the box to his video game, but he kept the actual disc. You guys can enter to win the box of Metal Gear Solid 3. Metal Gear Solid doesn't come in with it, but you get the box. Just enter the contest.
What a dope.
Mm-hmm. And that came back to bite me in the ass from a couple months ago.
Yes.
Right. And as growing and doing what I'm doing, I have to accept that. I have to own that. April does. April doesn't. It's up to her. But I have to own it. And luckily what they're doing is going, hey, just don't do that again or we're going to come down on you.
Yeah.
I'm going, okay, that sounds good.
Wasn't I part of some of that?
Yes, you were. You were mentioned in that. So
cool.
They do send you Discovery.
Our attorney has to love us.
They do send you Discovery for that.
Uh-huh.
But you also know that we don't need to comply with this Discovery because we're just going to tell them, look, we did what we did.
Yeah.
You guys have offered us something very good. You have our cooperation.
Yes.
You know, and that's what I'm planning on doing.
Yep.
It's interesting that Kayla got an offer and not Nick. It looks like they're looking to take Nick down. This says right here, Mr. Rekieta has always expressed a healthy skepticism of the government. In a live stream, Mr. Rekieta shared on YouTube on June 19th, so the government is watching him.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Rekieta spoke to a live audience of 6,000 viewers for the first time since his arrest. In that live stream, he outlined
just some technical talk, but I think like I wanted to get this whole thing because he just keeps going back to his admiration of Kayla. And as we mentioned at the front of this, he fell for Kayla. April fell for both the Requetas. And I think it doesn't appear any of us believe Kayla was into Aaron, but he thinks she was, so she did a good job.
Yeah, that's weird. And he's bitter and is trying to hide it, and he can't. I find it weird that he thinks a movie producer is trying to turn this into a screenplay. There's a whole lot of nothing here for a movie.
That's where you need a talented writer, and I do believe the next couple of clips of that movie guy do diverge enough for us to get into it. It like a Lifetime original movie. It is a low bar. It's a low bar. So that's a producer I could believe trying to make this happen.
Because they're like, I want to get this.
Yeah.
This guy's. This is kind of what we
pissed a lot of people off through this.
This is kind of what we theorized. We said he is
because he keeps shitting on everybody involved.
They want to nail this mother to the wall because he's being. Wow. I don't have the rest of this Kayla thing though. If somebody has, oh wow. Listing from leaked ICR supplement, Kino Casino. Defendants, Nick, Kayla, April. Officers, blah, blah, blah. April, paying snow. Oh, that's their comments. I overheard Nicholas Rekieta arguing with Chief Deputy Bauman in front of the house, demanding that he receive a copy of the search warrant, which at the time I handed him a copy of the search warrant. I saw him look at it and eventually throw it on the ground. Okay.
Mm-hmm. We knew that.
Is that why Dan wanted to get in touch with me? Because Kayla was offered a deal?
Thinking you're starting to put some pieces again.
Look at the gears turning. Her dad wants her with me. This can happen. Those 5 kids can be part of our life. They can eat SpaghettiOs every night.
He's one of those guys who thinks he wants something until he gets it and then realizes he's not satisfied with that. Aaron can hit the goal every single day and he will never, ever be happy with what he has. Like he always will be looking to the next thing. He's always just constantly barreling forward. Shaman was taking a little bit of notice of that he does. He just keeps steamrolling right through everything and tries to stay on what he wants.
Cried. That would have been fun to really shine a spotlight on it, but he just kept going with his. He did kind of play into it being a joke of him begging for money at that point, but just Aaron begging for money in general started as a joke until it wasn't a joke anymore. Same with my clown ladies. It started as a joke, folks.
Yeah, well, now, you know, now I'm watching clown ladies. Yeah, I agree. He just is out of control right now. I don't know what he's going to do. He needs to rebrand first.
Together, bud.
Does Dan want me to like work on her behalf and say that it was Nick? Does she want... It sounds like they want her to go after Nick because they want him. Could that be why I'm being contacted by Dan?
He's been fantasy booking wrestling like all of us wrestling nerds have. Now he's fantasy booking this Rekieta arrest. The cops are going after Nick. They don't want Kayla. Kayla is going to be free and she's going to be lonely. And then she'll just be a lesbian. The fact that the throuple is not a full-on throuple anymore. April is still there. They're still having a grand old time.
They're at least good friends, at the very least, because there's no way she would be staying on the property. April would be staying on the property if Kayla and Nick didn't both like her. She is likable, but she's also very malleable and groomable. Like, you can make her do what you want. Just let her walk herself there. That is date with you.
The clown lady thing, it started as a gag, but then you see dozens of sexy clown ladies, and it's kind of cool there. Ever since like the 6th episode of co-host auditions, I've been like, all right, the clown ladies will be our last segment, and there are some good-looking clown ladies out there who turned that gag into something actual serious. Whoops. Worked myself into a shoot there.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you for watching TikTok for me, so I'm not wasting my life.
Oh, absolutely. Just like Stallion and Doom and Netclo 2.0.
No, I agree.
Sifting through these shows, I'm sifting through TikTok. There's different types of sifting. They're sifting for gold. I'm sifting for silver. Some people are sifting for platinum.
Man. Yeah, I appreciate it. I tried watching some Steel Toe. I got gifted a membership. I couldn't last a whole show. I literally tuned Aaron out, and I'm talking to King Yeti. I'm talking to J-Ra. I'm talking to, all these people that are in his chat that are, they really, they're ignoring him now. Hobo Chili
the chat room in a lot of these live streams are really fun, but usually there's some interaction with the show. When I was watching Shuli's channel, there was interaction both with Cardiff's kids and with the Uncle Rico show when that was going on. Hopefully it's still that fun for those still around. But as I said, I crossed my arms and turned my back on that guy.
Just been around, turn your back on him.
That's interesting.
I'm guessing this has something to do with your.
I can't find it. I mean, if you guys have the link.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I don't know. Yeah. Kayla Rakeda has been offered a plea deal. So they want her to flip on Nick. Because if Nick hasn't been offered the same thing.
Oh, he is getting so hard. They want April to flip on Nick. They want Kayla to flip on Nick. They're after Nick. Oh, fucking April's going to be free. But Kayla is going to be free.
Yeah, exactly. And he's making it sound like they're trying to take down Nick. Like there's some sort of, DEA narcotic ring.
That's what he believes. He is the way he's weaving this. Nick is really who they're after. They don't want this full-on Rico case with Mrs. Rakeda and April. They're just roping them in to flip on Nick in his mind.
Exactly. And you know what? Maybe this is worth a Lifetime movie if they ham it up and make it a little more dramatic. But yeah, it's not gonna. He thinks that Nick is gonna and Kayla's gonna leave Nick, and that ain't gonna happen. That could have happened 3 kids ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've been together for how long? That people just typically don't break up.
Yeah, like with that. 5 kids, you'd think they would be Mormons rather than Christians.
Yeah, who knows? They could be.
But yeah, they are religious folk. Those two, and Aaron he does dabble, if you will, in the religion when it suits him. Some people theorize that Slam Piece is a religious lass. And so if it was 2 in a row of Kayla and Slam Piece, there's 2 god gals that he's like, oh, I've got to get into what they're getting on. He's like Chris Chan and Megan Schroeder getting into the animes she was into.
Yeah, that good example. Yeah, he's definitely he's I think it was Patrice that said it, but like Aaron, you can he'll become whatever container you pour him into.
Yes, that was definitely a Patriceism.
And that works for both his milky bag of milk body and his weak non-personality. He'll just do what his friends are doing because that's what you do. It's why he drives a truck. It's why he's got a suburban house. He wants to be Menard's dad because that's what's around him.
Aaron is indeed hoping that April is the marriage ender for both himself and other marriages, Dalish. He is hoping that she is a marriage cancer, and it's not him. No, it's going to be April.
She's right. She's hoping that April home wrecks and he gets Kayla in the deal. And what up, Chunk? That dude, I like another
Thank
person
you,
I catch.
Star Chunkster. That was Patrice talking about Jim Norton, of him going into, and also with his body style that works for physically as well as him changing his personality for a lady as well.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think. Because he's a romantic. He likes falling in love. He likes the pursuit. He likes the early emotional thing that you get from that. But once it becomes boring, it's going to be Steel Toe Morning Show with April, 6 months down the line, where they're just trashing each other.
Then they want her to flip on Nick. Mm-hmm. All right. Plea deal by mailing a copy thereof in an. Oh, that's it.
Yep.
So we don't have more pages from this?
Well, maybe the plea deal is confidential.
It turns out the affidavit of service in the case docket for Kayla's case associated with the recent discovery disclosure mentions that Kayla has been offered a plea deal, which was mailed simultaneously to the discovery disclosure. There's no affidavit of service associated with the corresponding discovery disclosure for Nick, making it unclear. So they haven't offered Nick anything.
What's the date on the document?
August 5th.
So that is like within the last few days. Okay.
Blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to read his chicken scratch here on the back here. But he's got himself lined up to where we actually can't read his whiteboard.
Yeah, and it's not very, like, he just did, his marker's running out of marker. This must mean it's something.
Distrust, distasteful, back. Hey, you should have the steel toe plaque where the whiteboard is and the whiteboard where the steel toe. Actually, no, just burn your background, burn your house to the ground, collect the insurance money, announce it on stream. No one will ever know. Just be between us. And
just burn it all down. Just burn it to the ground, man. They agree.
Oh, the Lifetime movie. Oh. I don't know if that's the right thing to do.
I don't know. I think you should.
I love Dan. I might just contact him because out of respect.
You
out
should
of respect to
assess.
him.
Okay, we're on to the Lifetime movie again. Might as well. I believe my next two clips are concerning this potential HBO Lifetime movie. There we go. Here, this clip, he's got himself positioned better. Hard Times breed. But his mic is in the way. Your mic
I know. What
is in the way. Back to ever. Back to ever streak equal 1.
Why does he have that boom arm anyway? Why did he even buy that? He had a good desktop. Like Anthony was using the same one, like the nice base.
Well, that's always been his. April had the one sitting on the desk.
I think they both had him at one point, and then he bought himself a mic arm and not her.
And I know one of the discussions against having it right on the table is you hear more table noise. I've seen a compilation of people bitching about Anthony's setup of having all the table noise that you can hear because he was going for his style over sound is their argument with Anthony Cumia having that mic on the. Oh yeah, why aren't you like your clone? I thought you were a clone there, buddy. Why don't you have a mic exactly like Anthony sitting on the table? You're a clone of a clone, buddy.
That's my problem too. Like I'm in my desk chair and I keep like swiveling and I keep hitting the one arm on the desk and I'm like, oh, I know it's fucking everything up.
Yeah, I am an amateur with this sound as well. Finally figured out what the problem was with the other streaming softwares. I'm too far away from the mic on some streaming softwares, but the way that StreamYard works, it's fine. I have to remove the pop screen and be all up on here in order for it to be heard on other streaming softwares, and it's just odd. I'm very much an idiot on how that and why that actually is, but thank you, StreamYard, for making a streaming software for babies like me.
A shout out to that Yosemite Sam reference too. Idiot.
HBO Netflix says McBuster, of course, will interview Aaron and Steel Toe, but all these other grifters with under 20K subs will be overshadowed. I did I don't even know. Oh boy. I don't know if I can give you this one. Oh, that makes me want to say it's not HBO Netflix level, but oh God, I have a big fucking mouth. I'll admit it, but I don't even know. I have been contacted by people. It's not like an HBO Netflix thing. It's not that big. There have been people who have asked me if I would help write.
It's almost like he's already signed an NDA with this guy, but he can't help himself. Or that in the emails, this Lifetime producer was like, hey, don't tell anyone. We want this thing to be fresh when it comes out. And you need a 2-hour show, so you stop doing this to yourself and talking about the third party who you legally can't talk about.
That's it. He's got to fill all that time, so he just keeps rehashing and running his mouth. Mersh got a little bit of a deal in a documentary. It was a WWE documentary, and he wasn't allowed to talk about it, and he could keep his mouth shut about it the whole time. He wanted to talk about it, but he was really excited. And then with Mersh, at least the excitement wore off, and he let it happen. This guy stays excited. You couldn't tell. I would be feeding Aaron deliberate bullshit secrets just to watch him float them in the circle. You know what I mean? In our circle of friends. I would love to play telephone with him in real life, you know?
Something. That I can't, dude. No, because I haven't even talked about, like, I haven't even vetted these. I've just, like, basically I've given them I'm a little busy right now. I'll talk to you later. I don't know if these people are legit. I haven't looked into it at all. So don't get me talking about hypotheticals that other people have sent me. Approachable says, Aaron, just admit it. The company that contacted you was Pornhub, and they want you to describe your last marriage so they can make a reenactment scene out of it. Yeah, that's exactly who it was. No,
you could make a 60-minute movie out of that. You get Aaron and April fucking, you get Nick and Kayla fucking, and then the big main event of the gangbang. Three scenes, 60, maybe 90 minutes, depending on how long the wraparound segments are.
Yeah. I could only imagine the dialogue.
It would be on par with what we hear from Aaron every day. Definitely on par.
Yeah.
All right, look, I'll say it, but this has to stay between you and I. Nobody else can know about this. All right? You and I.
Oh, double girl scene too. Mention this
is between you and I. Wink. I knew that I heard that before, the joke I just made. I'm going to commit insurance fraud by burning down my house. This is just between us. And yeah, it was when I pulled this clip of him saying, this is between us. Don't tell anybody.
What a moop.
Oh, Star Chunksta is pointing out it could be also a Baldo tutorial. So that's something it could be educational for as well. This Pornhub version of the Imholts and the Ricadas.
Yeah, I think we got something. We need to write.
Nobody else can know about this. All right? You and I. This doesn't go out on the air. Okay? Deal? I'll tell you. Look. And don't sit here and go, oh, that's bullshit. Because I think it's bullshit. This is why I don't even want to tell you about it. I think it's bullshit. I haven't vetted this. I think once I vet it, we're going to find out that it's horseshit. But there was a guy who claims to be with a studio that makes Lifetime movies. And again, giant bullshit alert with my antenna. Says he loves this streaming drama. And he used to watch Nick during the trials. And he wanted to know if I'd be interested in helping him write a screenplay about this whole situation. Now, I have not had a discussion with this guy. I've just told him, I said, look, man, I'm really busy. I got a lot of shit going on. Summertime, if I'm not at home, I'm at the cabin. I'm with the kids, whatever. I'll get back to you. I don't think this guy's legit. Dude, it was it wasn't even like a Twitter, it was a Facebook message. So
Twitter is official communication, unlike this Facebook horseshit. They are not on equal levels at all. This amateur trying to pretend is on Facebook, not Twitter.
Right, because no platform has deception on it, right? He's saying it's bullshit, but you know he wants it to happen. If somebody is bullshitting him, they picked a good thing to get him on because he wants to be a star. He wants to be on TV. He wants credits. He said it again.
The same guy who set up Stuttering John with those shitty keychains. You are a legend.
I don't know what's going to happen to this guy. This is probably one of my favorite like low-cow adventures to go on because it's a semi-slow burn. Before he's going to run out all his money, before Matt and Johnny say, fuck you. I think Matt's pretty much happy being his friend, but I don't think Johnny likes doing this show anymore.
Matt is just the neighbor nerd, right? He's just someone nearby who's... I don't understand his function. Like, Johnny Crutches has more of a function than Matt does. He's in his Spaceballs escape pod, ready to blast off once he's... And it's funny how Johnny Crutches absolutely admitted that he has to be here and he doesn't really want to be here on Steel Toe.
It's true, though. I mean, he needs the money. Johnny's like, as much as I want to pick on him for being Johnny, he's getting Social Security and it's not covering everything. So he's trying to make a few bucks doing DJ gigs and he's trying to get a few bucks from Aaron. And the time is not worth the effort for Johnny, especially all the hate that he's getting. Aaron's hate runoff. You know what I'm saying? Like if Aaron's being bulletproof that morning, it'll be all on Johnny for being a vaping crutchman.
I would
adds nothing really.
I mentioned this when we covered that breakdown. Johnny and Mersh, the Johnny and Mersh show. I initially said the combo with Aaron, but they really don't need Aaron as a buffer. The Johnny and Mersh show is something that has legs. I didn't even mean to do that pun there.
Nice pun, dude. That's pretty good.
It wasn't even meant to happen. It just came out. Unlike Johnny Crutches, Johnny and Mersh has legs.
Oh, I don't. Again, I think it's bullshit. But I told some people about it, and they were like, "I don't know, man."
His grin. He's like, "I don't know, man. It's bullshit." He's like,
and as Fang You Died is pointing out, it's not legitimate. I know it's bullshit, but yeah, he can't hide a damn thing of just beaming with somebody who makes shitty movies wants to make a shitty movie with me.
Yeah, no, he wants that. It's so funny. That's why if he's being trolled, somebody got him good. They hit the right button this time.
That'd be a pretty fucking killer Lifetime movie. I'm like, yeah, but nobody's.
It would be a Lifetime movie.
If it's a Lifetime movie,
it would be just equal as all the other Lifetime movies.
I've never heard the phrase "a killer Lifetime movie" ever, except maybe when they were promoting a killer in one of their Lifetime movies.
My thought exactly. Only when it's been a murder story rather than a love story is when you hear it being a killer over at Lifetime.
There you go.
Deadpool absolutely correcting me. That joke was not accurate. Johnny has legs. They're just made of spaghetti. So that joke was not accurate.
Hold up, Deadpool.
This is why I don't think this guy's legit. I don't think they'd be coming around unless somebody was dead. They might adapt it and then kill somebody in it. I just hope it's not me. I should write that part in, that I can't die.
All right, Steven Seagal claws.
A Springer episode is more accurate of what's going on there. And that last one, as well as this one from My Lost Interest, who took a couple of clips of him talking about the Lifetime movie. And now this one, Aaron has vetted this guy a bit more. So we hear a little bit further down the line of him. Oh, that was just so fun of him beaming. this isn't true, guys. I'm sure it's bullshit. Oh, somebody who's not really a somebody, but he dabbles. That's the second time that dabble just bled out of my mouth today.
Yeah.
I should go ahead and hit that dabble alarm the way that it keeps happening to me. Oh, I need to clean up this board.
Whoa!
As I've mentioned, I should clean up this board and all of these clips, but I don't want to get rid of...
Fix it, fix it, fix it, fix it, fix it, fix it. Fix it, fix it, fix it.
I should absolutely fix it and get rid of some of these clips, but I love them. They come in contact. I'm no Fred Norris, the way that he could really keep track of all those tapes and really quick get them in there.
Dude.
He was even quicker once it turned into software. Back when it was analog days, he had stacks and stacks and towers of tapes that he was able to get those sounds in. So once it switched to software, fucking zoom over on Fred.
That's the tape thing is crazy to me because that's what it was, right? Like all those little DAT tapes that they would have to pop in and hit play. That's nuts, man. We've come along. Look at this. I'm in the most non-professional setup you can see, and it's not all that bad.
It's we have come too far with the fact that Aaron can do this, and maybe the way that we are doing this shows that we've come too far. We should be broadcasting to an audience. Thank all you 30. Actually, that may be proper for me still finding my broadcasting legs. They are spaghetti legs like Johnny Crutches right now. I think they're kind of uncooked spaghetti legs. They're underneath me. They can support the minimum of weight, but they can crack the way that I'm still feeling my way out, working my way up to being a real broadcaster one day, Pinocchio.
He thinks he's going to be a real broadcaster too. He said it again. I'm going to be back on radio.
Yeah, he absolutely believes. I don't think I included that in the queue today of him. I will be #1 on radio again. He's fantasizing, and it's part-time. He keeps talking about these things that might happen. I might get a Lifetime movie. I might be back into radio broadcasting part-time and be able to get rid of the evening show. Stop with the mites. You're working yourself up for a failure, and not everything is a win, especially when you talk about these things that might happen and don't happen, in which case
just take the loss, Mr. Toe Man.
I got another one that's the opposite of that. Another win for the toe.
Just take the loss, Mr. Toe Man.
With $2 says, if this story doesn't at least become a Lifetime movie, I will be disappointed. Speaking of which, update, that guy who wrote me on Facebook and said that he follows this YouTube drama shit and that he works for a studio that makes a lot of Lifetime movies and wanted to talk about writing something.
Right.
He sent me some stuff over the weekend, dude. He's legit. Like, he's a guy who's trying to move his way up in that business.
Did Johnny snort?
Too legit to quit. I think that actually, I don't think it was a snort. I think it was kind of like a chortle. I backed it up a little bit. I think that's what Johnny did. Not really a snort, but like a chortle.
Oh, I learned a new word today. Now I know what that means.
I think I'm using that correctly.
I think you are too.
Not a laugh, not a guffaw, not a giggle, a chortle.
He's legit. Like,
he's a guy.
Yeah, that was totally right? That wasn't a giggle. It was a chortle.
Johnny ain't believing him.
Thank you, Electra, for getting the rally going in the chat, chipping away at those 16 down to 11 subscribers to go to get monetized. And I do believe I'm going to have to go out and edit the ending of every single episode because Helga and Lisa, they got their monetization messed with for promoting tobacco and drugs. And I apologize to JJ Dabbles. I got up too late to make an appearance today on their show. And he got to me a little late last night, and I was up too late. But anyways, it almost worked out, but it didn't quite work out. Sorry, JJ, that I couldn't make it work to be on Helga and Lisa today.
Dylan coming up.
Guy who's trying to.
And I did send him a Discord message. I'm sorry. Both of us got to the messages a little late. Of like, yeah, I should be able to do it. And oh, you can do it. I was already asleep. I did not set my. But now we're getting into technical aspects. Thank you for joining, folks.
Trying to move his way up in in that business,
Right.
Like he's not a muckety muck. He's not like a head guy, but he's like, I'd like to write this story with you. And I don't know if he's a small time guy at that company, but he thinks this like could help him out. And he follows a lot of YouTube drama and shit like that.
Okay.
I'm thinking about working with him.
Okay.
I'm thinking about it. I mean, obviously you'd have to change all the names and everything else.
Right. But who's going to I don't mean to be selfish. Who's going to play me? Am I even in this story? Or do we just cut me out? Cause I'm
you'd have to be in it because we'd have to be doing shows.
Nope, he does not have to be in it. It will be an amalgamation of all of his co-hosts. And I wonder what direction he would take it if the fictional version of his co-host is indeed absolutely useless, or if the fictional version actually is a witty guy who should be on the radio.
Yeah, that's what he's going to write himself as. He's going to be the most charismatic dude in the room every time.
Shows.
Right.
There'd have to be like podcast stuff, and yeah,
I'd like to request Jake Gyllenhaal. I'd like to see him in a wheelchair if we could.
I mean, we're gonna be on a budget, I'm thinking.
Not without my blow.
Oh, I know a thing or two of how they shoot those Lifetime movies. It's similar to how they shoot the soap operas of just fucking go, fucking get it, fucking go. They are getting it done on a shoestring budget. Who was it? Kai from Drinking Buddy that I had, who was in the See No Evil movie, was talking about how much he fucking hated working on Lifetime movies and would never do it again. Wow. Unless he absolutely had to make rent because of how shitty the setup was and how not unprofessional, but just slapdash that those productions are.
Yep. And that's how I would imagine most cable channel low budget movies work. It's just we just got to get the shot kind of thing. We just got to get the dialogue and the shot. They're not really concerned with craft services or if a piece of metal falls on your head or any of that kind of stuff. Yeah, cable movies are low tier for a reason.
I'm trying to think of what the title of the movie could be. I mean, obvious ones are.
And My Lost Interest put Breaking Baldo as the title of the movie. I think my suggestion would be, I don't know exactly how you'd spell that.
Snorefest.
Ones are like Breaking the Law.
Shitty choice. Oh, and now he's picturing that song could be the theme for it. He's picturing the opening credits. Breaking the law, breaking the law. No, that's not in the Lifetime budget, buddy. They have got someone making that original score for pennies versus what it would cost to get an actual song in there.
I'll break out my Yamaha keyboard for the Lifetime original score.
Four is a crowd.
Yeah, four is a crowd.
That was a good joke,
Suck
Crutchman.
and blow.
Does take me back to Three's Company. The very last episode was leading into the spinoff, Three's a Crowd, which I don't think lasts a full season. I find the Ropers popping up on like Tubi and things like that every so often. I never see Three's a Crowd popping up anywhere, or have I seen it in syndication. John Ritter, fantastic stuff. That Three's a Crowd must have been a big bunch of fucking garbage.
Yeah, I know. I never even heard of it. I'm going to have to look that up. I was a bit of a fan of the
I recall seeing that final episode where they show Jack moving in with his girlfriend at the time, and the dad somehow is involved. He's now the landlord, or he owns the property, and Three's company pops up, moves out of the way. Three's a crowd. And the fans didn't like that ending. They wanted to see Jack and Janet get together. That's what the Three's Company fans were like. They've been The Rock this whole time. We've had so many good-looking blondes cycle in and out, but Jack and Janet, they should end up together. But for the spin-off show, they needed a new lady to come in and a new dad to come in for Three's a Crowd.
That's so strange.
Oh. I don't know.
On air. It's like Con Air, but now it's just on air. We take the C out.
Swing and a miss. Let me get Duke Phillips for someone other than myself on air is a Con Air play of words.
Where's the joke? Sir, we're on the air. I know we're on the air, but where's the joke? Where's the joke?
Thank you, Johnny Crutches. It's so rare that Duke Phillips gets called in for someone other than myself.
Out.
And then, of course, there's always going to be Breaking Baldo.
Oh, of course. Breaking.
Yeah.
I love Breaking Baldo. That one should be like what we go with, but I don't think that'll pass on a large scale.
Chevy fan says DJ Qualls can play Aaron. I hate you for that. I hate you.
What?
Oh,
That does bother him. That second "I hate you" did show. It shows that it bothers him, and I absolutely agree. Do you recall who DJ Qualls is?
Yes, I know who he is.
I had sex with a woman.
Yeah, he was in Road Trip. He was in Jim Jeffries.
Oh, and he was the cop in Breaking Bad, actually, who arrested Badger. He popped up there.
That's
too.
right. And he did another TV show that I really My Name is Earl. He was in My Name is Earl. A little bit.
Recall his episode. I of course can go down a rabbit hole with My Name is Earl by Greg Garcia. I should have followed his path of going to Frostburg University instead of one failed semester at Towson, because Greg Garcia got an internship in Warner Brothers through Frostburg University's program and created My Name is Earl, Yes Dear, and many other, a few other shows. Raising Hope, he created season 1. Fucking phenomenal. I don't know if he was less involved starting in season 2 or who wasn't there for season 2, but season 1 of Raising Hope is one of those like heroes season 1 that I hold up there, and then really every other season, nah, you don't need it.
Yeah, and Heroes was another one that hooked me with season 1, and I like you said, it just falls off. DJ Qualls was the white version of Joy's husband. I can't remember his name. He made the lemon squares all the time. I want to say Derek, but anywho, like Joy and him was married, and then there's Joy has a cousin or a sister. No. DJ Qualls is married to a black version of Joy. It's like the opposite couple of Joy and her husband, and it's DJ Qualls and a black wife. It's really fun.
Yeah, I don't recall that episode. I'm going to have to seek that out because I love My Name is Earl all the way through. Where, as I said, with Raising Hope, season 1, phenomenal. Then never again. And I was getting ready to rev up to go into that Heroes talk again. Let's save that. I'm gonna reel in that obscure movie TV talk, which is proper actually for a show talking about Aaron, because. In another life, brother, we could have been buddies. You could have been Jack Shepard, and I could have been Desmond.
That's what's really weird about Aaron is like a small tweak in his personality. He would be just a good friend. He'd be a good friend, but he's very clingy and attachment. Like he can't be alone. He's not comfortable with himself, so he makes everybody else kind of uncomfortable after a while.
DJ Qualls can play Aaron. I hate you for that. I hate you.
That first "I hate you" is playful, but this second "I hate you," you do say it does bleed out. Yeah, that hurts.
Oh, the Uncoverables with a Q. Uncoverables. Cover Me with a Q. We could work with cover. Under the Cover.
Ooh, there we go.
Nope.
And with a Q. That would get people asking. They'd be like, what the fuck does that mean? I don't.
Some like it hot tub.
Okay, that's been the best one of the past dozen or so. Some like it hot tub.
I did like the Four is a Crowd thing because Aaron is the one that gets kicked out. Like in the Four is a Crowd movie, he's going to be the one that gets shit on the whole time. Like I would make Aaron the most unlikable character in the movie.
Yeah,
Just
the
like
chat
you.
is agreeing with you. Captain Miserable is right here saying 4 is a Crowd is actually pretty damn good and accurate for what's going on there. Because 3 is still company with those.
They're having fun without him.
Yes. Crack Machine says SC Motorsports. Citizen M, one too many. Wait, that's taken. Yeah.
Can we call it aggressively monogamous?
Oh, I like that. Aggressively monogamous. The Nick.
One too many actually works.
Yeah, I agree. He's
works better than John's.
Yeah, right. No, it does. It works better for this movie than his own. He is aggressively monogamous, Aaron. That's like his thing. He wants to be locking women down.
Too square to be hip. That's right there on the line of being a terrible joke, an average joke, or a shitty joke. Too square to be hip for Aaron. I'm on the tightrope of that being good or bad.
I fall on the side of just good enough.
Right. Little Lemmy. Is that the Little Lemmy? God bless. She says One Flew Over the Cocaine Nest. And we did pretty well.
So that was 2 from My Lost Interest, going down that rabbit hole of the Lifetime original movie that he shouldn't be talking about. Someone just reached out to him. There is absolutely nothing to this at this point other than having conversations with somebody hey, in fact, let me just tell you all about my pilot that never was, if we're going to go down this. I did have a good, fun little concept with that sketch comedy show. I don't know if it would have taken off, but yeah, I think I could have got money for a pilot.
You got to get some good players with you, too, especially if it's sketch.
All you need is a guest star, not a guest star, a celebrity to get something off the ground. That's the biggest thing is, this celebrity is involved. Have many more tens of thousands of dollars. Make it a cool million now that you have this celebrity involved. I did have the money on paper to $20,000 for a 1-week shoot, and I knew that number was bullshit. And it's insane how quickly that, because it's a full business with a couple of dozen people. I whittled it down as much as I could, but paying a dozen or more people for a complete week, paying for different locations, even getting friends and family prices, $30,000 in 1 week goes really fucking quick, even for something super duper low budget.
Yeah, I understand that one. Especially like you said with payroll and the things you don't think of, or any problems that come up in the middle of a shoot. I can't imagine. In my mind, it's all jackassery. We're just going to get a camcorder and go outside and film.
I was loving the day where we were shooting the silent movie section of the sketch comedy show, because sound department, you're not here. One of the annoying neighbors, because that is a thing of people just running their leaf blower until some production assistant, some locations manager comes over to them. Here's $50. Will you knock it off with the leaf blower?
Beat it. Yeah.
$100 will make me knock it off with the leaf blower. Here's $100. Knock it off with the leaf blower.
I'm sorry. That's a sketch on its own.
That's stuff that legit happens. You're in my neighborhood. I have the absolute right to make all this noise in my house in the middle of the day. Could you not? I could for a price.
I don't know why I find that funny, but I find that funny. Just going out and harassing.
Every day out in Los Angeles. This is something that's very common, especially with someone who lives on a block that's filmed on regularly. Like they make a grift of it, of calling out of work and then getting paid for not running their leaf blower anymore.
That's so great. I love it. Ooh,
We're back to Stallion 19. Aaron is talking about lowering the goal, and Kino Casino Chrissy on the Ricada interview. So yeah, there's little random things I know like that about Hollywood productions, and that was something that I didn't include in the $20,000 version of the budget, was the knock it off with the leaf blower money, which is why I knew the $20,000 for a week was absolute bullshit.
Did a great job in July, and I appreciate it so well, in fact, that for the next 3 remaining shows of the week, I'm knocking $100 off each goal. So about taking $300 and just going here. So to those of you who say we never drop the goal, we never do that, thank you very much. An amazing month of July. I appreciate it so very much. It's $150 tonight, and then it's $250 the next 2 days.
You guys get a super discount. He's going in full Billy Mays mode right here. Tonight only $150 to complete the goal. The next 2 nights, that's $250. Get in tonight, folks. Support the show. Help us reach the goal.
He's got a good, somebody called him a carnival barker. He really does do that. The other 2 professions I think he would be good at is, selling some type of used something, whether it's cars or furniture, or
I don't know why we all put him in that category, but that's the one I keep going back to as well. Is Unpainted Arizona. Go sell that. I don't know why in my head he would just do so well at selling unpainted furniture, but there's just something about him. Yeah, I guess it is that certain carnival barker that he can sell me this unpainted patio furniture.
Exactly. He could trick you into staining it yourself, and he'll sell you the stain.
He could be the assistant manager over at Unpainted Arizona while Nathan Jr. is missing, and the owner has to go out and look for him and go make all those news appearances.
I think he would be a televangelist too. Like if he leaned into the Bible thing and just started thumping it real hard and telling everybody else what kind of shithead they are, because he loves to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like I think he could get a congregation together and milk them for money. That's what he wants to do. And the internet ain't having it. He needs local yokels to file into a building.
And Sam Bibley, some other shows have focused very much on the Spaceballs escape pod that Johnny Crutches is in. We've just kind of made a couple jokes at it, and I try not to overlap too much with some of the bigger shows that also cover Aaron. So I'm just calling it his escape pod from Spaceballs, where Sam Bibley believes it's the weird Dr. Evil egg chair. A very bold move, similarly to me having Mr. Winston, who people think is just a stuffed dog, but no, he's a Hollywood performing puppet. He will not be part of Puppet Only fans. He is a celebrity. He does not do that type of performing.
He's not going to lose his SAG-AFTRA card.
Stage performer after. Actually, yeah, I guess once all those unions merged, he would have been part of SAG-AFTRA at this point. Yeah, I was wrong there in correcting you, because all those unions merged.
Again, thank you guys very much for your support. Thank you for being a cool audience. And if you're someone who doesn't like me and this kind of thing bothers you, then I've kind of exposed you as a phony again, because your whole thing was, why haven't you lowered the goal? Now I do it, and you're probably going to be pissy-eyed about that. So again, there's nothing I can do for you. You need mental health help because I'm a shitty YouTube show. I know I'm very good at it. I know I'm the best. I think that's something even
I know I'm the best. That is how you get better at all these types of endeavors, is just admitting that you're already the best, and there's no need to get better. And Luigi Greenberg has been at work here, getting some posters here for that Lifetime movie. Here we've got She's Gone, with DJ Qualls there in the Aaron place with the Aaron hairstyle, and that is something that they would have to go in and shave his head all weird every day to get that type of hairstyle. DJ Qualls, you got to have that hairstyle for the role. You can't skimp on that part. And he does have one other one of the Steel morning cope with DJ Qualls with that hairline that Aaron has. Oh, hairline, I'm going to miss you once you start receding.
I know. When I got to Aaron's point, it was just shaving. I had to shave it. There's a little patch there, but it's like classic horseshoe. Just put a fucking hat on, dude. You're a hat guy now. He can't wear hats.
My dad was ridiculous. Quite some time until he was like, all right, I've had this just bald for quite a while. I'm a bald man with just a ring. So yeah, just be a hat guy until you're a bald guy.
That's right. And learn, or just be comfortable with shaving your head. Don't, it's as long as you don't got a weird skull, you're all right.
It's funny how that used to be just wildly embarrassing. I think it was like the 90s where it started being, this is a choice that I'm making to shave my head. Stone Cold Steve Austin, right before he started shaving his head, his receding hairline was looking pretty bad. And then he looked like a badass with that shaved head. And it was just the most embarrassing thing. Like Curly of the Three Stooges was actually a ladies' man. And shaving his head for that role just absolutely killed him to be this embarrassing thing without hair.
Yeah, there's something about before a certain time, like being bald was just like you just grew it out and did the comb over. Like you had to do that.
There was an art to the comb over. It's funny seeing those older videos or those old guys who kept it up through all the 90s that really had this intricate type of comb over hair system. Curious to what Howard's hair system is, because people who would know, they call it a system. They don't call it a wig. There's something odd about that hair. And some people do get gray beards, but not gray hair, but it doesn't look proper. Something looks fucking odd about his current hair.
Yeah, I don't trust Howard's hair, and I don't trust Mike Redbar's hair either. Mike's hair is too nice. Howard
does have amazing hair. I've never suspected him of having some kind of hair system, but he does have some amazing hair.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It looks too good. But he's a product guy. Like he puts
as well as him turning into a gray fox. Fucking he's sick as hell. He's starting to age, and he's still got a one up on me and Aaron and so many other goofball looking guys. Damn you, handsome Red Bar and your silver tongue. Wait, I haven't read his board here in this one. Hard times breed better. Is that memories all squished together?
I think it's supposed to be men. Like, okay, hard times breed better men or stronger men. But he's never suffered from a hard time at all. I mean,
not hitting the goal is a pretty hard time, man.
You're right. You're right. I don't think I could live without hitting my own goals.
Restart the streak down at the bottom and a bunch of explanation points. He should take his children's magnets, ABC magnets, off of the fridge and do this. This is this handwriting. No bueno, sir.
Yeah, it's atrocious. And he writes with He writes with the board on the wall. Like he doesn't tilt it in any way so he can get better handwriting. He's writing like a teacher on a chalkboard. Terrible.
Yeah, it's mounted there, and that's just where it stays.
Keanu C. Thompson will admit to the 80 people watching her. I think she said it numerous times. He's the most interesting guy there is. And she's goddamn right. Most interesting guy, most interesting show. Cannot be debated. People who don't like me even admit it. So we're dropping it by 100 tonight, tomorrow morning, and Friday morning. Number one Josh Denny fan also asks, did you see the
Aaron is as bad as can be. Absolutely. That is how we started off this video, Captain Miserable. I know I'm the best. Just because you're a Bret Hart fan doesn't mean you're the best there is, was, and ever will be.
the Kino Casino coverage of the Ricada Mayer interview? I jumped around a little bit. I don't watch as many clips anymore. Again, I lived it. And so watching him lie, he's good at it, dude. I mean, not good at it like nobody believes him, but like, I think he's definitely one of those mentally ill people who lies to the point where they believe it. So, because I've told him he's lying.
But back to that looking in the mirror type of thing.
100%.
He does this so often where he talks about these terrible traits that other people have. And it's like, this is you.
Yeah, no, 100%. There's so many times that he does that. He'll just go on a tangent just like this. And it's like, are you talking about yourself or somebody else, dude? Come on now. Like, he does need a good, long, hard stare in the mirror for what he says a lot of times. He needs to take his own advice more often than not.
This is the third screenshot I got. One of these three screenshots will definitely be the thumbnail for next week. Thank you
Look at that.
for the drop the needle faces, Mr. Toe Man.
Somebody else just said that too about his show. They don't normally cover him, but they were like, dude, this guy's show is a needle drop. You could just anywhere in any show on it's Blind Mike, I think.
I believe so. That sounds familiar. I think it was Casey Day when he lost his place with the Begathon, and that's what he was referring to.
Exactly right.
Was the drop the needle with the begging.
Yeah, dude, and it's his whole show. You can do it in any point of show. I've watched Onion do it, Melton, and a couple other people. You know, you just watch them for 10 minutes, and if you can't see what's really going on, you're probably a fan of his legitimately.
And I do believe those numbers are dwindling as the fun chat, such as King Yeti and some of our other buddies here, are just having fun at his expense in the chat rather than having fun with him in the chat.
That's right, exactly. And I believe he went from like 13,100 subscribers. He's back down to now 12,800. Like, he lost about 300 people after that first initial bump. Either that or maybe paid subscriptions fell off. Like, somebody might have bought him subscribers and they went away.
Dude, I mean, not good at it like nobody believes him, but like, I think he's definitely one of those mentally ill people who lies to the point where they believe it. So, because I've told him he's lying before, and he'll fly into a rage. He goes nuts when you say he's lying. And that's either him narcissistically protecting himself, or I think he believes it because he lives in a very enclosed world. You know, he lives in a very closed off world, especially now with all these charges. I'm sure it's gotten worse. He can make himself believe anything he wants to. And that's a lot easier than actually fake.
Put a mirror. Aaron, please put a mirror on the other side where your camera is, where your mess of monitors is. Actually, we didn't get to that video of Johnny Crutches.
He's looking at himself right now. Where he's staring, there's a TV over there. Like,
we've all got that as streamers.
But he's looking over here at right. He is mirroring himself. Jesus, oh my God, dude! I just realized that he is talking to himself about himself, under the guise of offering advice to other people. Oh my God.
Facing the world as it is. I think that's why the drugs and the drinking and everything else. So I watched the clip, the Kino Casino clip. The Kino Casino guys did what they usually do. They did a good job with it. But from what I saw, it was just, I mean, picking him apart is kind of easy. And watching Chrissy just, I mean, that's sad. Because she's a mom and like she's totally sweeping now. But hey man, that's her. That's, like I keep saying, that none of that stuff makes my life any worse. None of it makes my life any better. So those are individual people's choices. And, you know, That's you gotta make a call. I think it's a chicken shit coward's move to say, well, if he's convicted, then I'll change my mind. It's like you have a human brain who's capable, innocent until proven guilty.
And you don't have Hans Delbruck's brain. You have Abby Normal's brain, unfortunately. Electra, I am definitely down for a lunchbox today. I believe 2:15 Eastern, 3:15 Eastern.
3:15.
One of those. I'm definitely down for that. Oh yeah, I do need to help the roommate with the dogs. I've got to check in on some helping with the roommate out with stuff. But yes, I am definitely down to do some lunchboxing. Glad that you're getting back to lunchbox and taking it down less per week for your own health. So good luck. And oh yes, happy belated birthday. I did not say that on my last stream or any of the streams around your birthday. So happy belated birthday coming verbally from me.
Yeah, real quick. Yeah, definitely a happy belated birthday to Electra. I said it in the chat a couple times, but I know chat was going by so fast. There's no way. Because some of those chats were, it was like you would say hello and your hello would just go right past. Because everybody was like, oh, what's up? It's such
the
a great
goal
community.
claimed Electra on Sunday.
Oh, yes, it did.
The goal was not met, and it claimed Electra, if it didn't take her out itself, just keeping up with the goal hurt Electra so much she had to go to the hospital, and Mike was a broken man. And here we've got Stone Aaron, who does that every day. And
that's the thing. That's
unaffected.
That's where he gets some respect from. Like, he's out here every day doing this. He can just swallow his pride and get out here and every day and just ask for money. And not only that, tell you that it's for the show. Like, none of the money that the show makes goes to child support or his bills or his internet. It goes all in the show. That's how he wants you to believe what he's raising money for. Everything he has, you paid for. You did. Not you, but his fans are paying his lifestyle.
The royal you.
Yes, right. Yes. It's because that's what he got mad at me for before, was making fun of him begging for child support money, which is essentially what he's doing. It's part of it. Child support, truck payments, mortgage,
groceries,
money, right? Food,
electric bill, the internet bill,
his WWE online app. He keeps putting tons of money into.
That's what he is terrible with $1. He's actually admitted that he's terrible with $1. It doesn't go towards WWE champions. That's one of the fun aspects of Darkside Phil is beyond reasonable doubt. It's been proven that he's that person who has spent over 6 figures on a mobile game to get JPEG pictures.
I'm telling you, man, and these mobile companies are breaking it the fuck in, because there's how many. If you got 100 guys like Phil, you're good. Unreal.
All those fake game ads that pop up, it's like, oh, this looks like a fun game. Why isn't it what they advertise? Because those very few whales pay for. It's just astounding. It's like Findom with mobile games instead of some lazy broad.
Yep, exactly. Oh yeah, you talked a little bit about that yesterday too. I was so upset I couldn't get in the chat. Yesterday I would have been all over it.
Yeah, Findom is a real thing, and it's funny on the swipey apps of coming across someone who claims to be into kink, but no, they just discovered financial domination, and you send me money, and that's the transaction. And that is what Findom is about. It's a sugar baby with no sugar.
Ugh.
Yes, A. Smith, proven beyond reasonable doubt. Like it isn't hard proof. Seen him with it. Basically, seen it. I've gone down the Phil rabbit hole. Those detractors have done a lot of investigative reporting to find all this evidence that, yeah, he's over the years he has spent 6 figures on this mobile app.
Well, and just like Aaron, he tells everybody what he doesn't say the monetary amount, but we're like, everybody's smart enough to figure it out. You add it up. And there is a nice pie chart floating around the internet about Darkside Phil's expenses. If your guys are interested, you can probably find it.
It's a rabbit hole you can go down. Is that Down the Rabbit Hole? I think that's the documentary that introduced me to both Chris Chan and Darkside Phil. And then there's many more streamers. And I hope someone does. There's a guy called Based Shaman and a few others that do different Chris Chan sagas all in 10 to 20 minutes. And that's what a dabbler could really help expand this community with, is the different sagas of Stuttering John. I've mentioned it before. The beloved Chatter's beloved one. I don't think I've been more giddy of watching that doofus than that time of the beloved Chatter's beloved one attempted charity scam.
Yeah, that's I don't. How was that supposed to work? You were gonna PayPal and Venmo John, and he was going to donate that cash to somebody else. Why not just? I'm not even going to get into it because that is another one. Yeah, Base Shaman is good. That's the guy's name, Frederick Knudsen.
The guy who does those, he's got one on Wings of Redemption as well. The internet style documentaries, not like the documentary style where you interview different people yourself. This no budget documentary style that a lot of internet people do. Frederick Knudsen has it on both those people. That is how you can start shooting up some of those lol cows and finding those different people who do different segments. Yeah, Base Shaman, little bit of a mess. It's been a while since he came into my recommendation of the algorithm, but when I was down the Chris Chan rabbit hole, that guy was in my algorithm and he does it like trying to be. He's insincere, encouraging to Chris Chan. That guy.
That's so great. The guy that I was watching about Chris Chan was the Geno Samuel 2.1. That's like the full.
Oh yeah, that one is for people who are already fans of Chris Chan content, because those are hours long. He's up to like part 50 or 60 something of the history of Chris Chan. Oh, 80s. I haven't
watched since the mid 60s.
Because it got sad. It's now past the fun days. It's now in the pathetic sad days, not the pathetic fun days.
And that's right. When the pandemic first hit and I was out of work, that was the first thing I started was Chris Chan. Because I remember like peripherally hearing the name Chris Chan, like you hear it, you don't know who it is. And then I went down that it's not just a rabbit hole, that's a pit to the center of the earth.
Pandemic for me was actually Stuttering John. That's where when I discovered Carl and then went down the Stuttering John rabbit hole. It was pre-pandemic that I saw the Sonichu. What the fuck is this Sonichu that this Frederick Knudsen is talking about?
I stayed away until I had time, and now I know too much, unfortunately. And that's why I know what. There's a lot of parallels with Aaron here. With just straight up low cow dumb all together. Like he just exhibits enough of traits that he's in that category, just unnoticed.
Kiwi Farms has picked up on him, and they're like, yeah, he does belong here on the lol cow forums of Kiwi Farms.
Yep.
Just a government standard. Everyone does that. Guilty people hide behind, well, I'm innocent until proven guilty. Not in the court of public opinion. Everyone's allowed to look at the information they have and make an intelligent, opinion about it. Hiding behind innocent until proven guilty doesn't give you a pass on being a coward. And if you sit there and you see all this evidence right in your face and you go, well, I'm not going to make my decision unless he's convicted. Well, then you're a coward. You're kind of a chicken shit because you know what the correct answer is. I've told you what my experience was. And I mean this by Chrissy. You've seen the evidence. You've seen that Nick lies, like repeatedly.
We see that you lie.
Like in an evil way, like a really not
You lie in an evil way. Like it's really evil to lie about bear hugging your girlfriend until she can't breathe anymore. And I do think that the headbutt is a bit of an exaggeration, based on just how I see Aaron and what he does. I don't believe a full on headbutt, but more like getting into her face with his head, like an aggressive, like John Cena and Randy Orton, looking like they are about to kiss, but instead.
What? Oh, I had that in a GIF too, where two guys were doing that. They were like eyeballing each other head to head, and one guy goes and kisses them real quick, and the other guy just starts laughing so hard. But then they're like getting ready to do MMA fight right after that. It was so funny.
I vaguely remember that. Yeah.
Non-caring, cold, lying way. To the point where you can't believe a word the guy says. If his lips are moving, he's probably lying. So I don't, that whole, well, I'm not going to make an opinion because he hasn't been convicted yet. That's kind of a chicken shit. That's like what black people used to do with OJ. You know?
That's a weird.
That's a weird fucking smirk he got. He is like the way you're able to tell that he hates women. He does not like other races.
No, and I have it here. Hold on. There's one clip I want to play real quick that I know you've seen. Now I'm not as bad as that, but this one.
Reenie's helping you look.
All that.
There we go.
Another win for the toe.
That right there. It's another win. Can you see it?
Yep.
Yeah.
And
He says that's
you know what I call
another
that?
win for the toe.
Another win for the toe.
I don't remember the context.
And you know what I call that?
Oops. And it's
my fault.
Playing.
I'll take it down now. But like it's like you just mentioned, that smirk. He is so self-satisfying with certain things, and it's annoying. It drives me crazy. And just like when he mentions shitting on women, when he mentions if he is almost not going to hit the goal and then hits the goal, he'll rub it in. He'll be like, ha, haters. It's like, no, dude, your fans make you sweat. They don't
Just take the loss, Mr. Toe Man.
They make him sweat because it's funny. His hair is going to fall out, or he's going to have a heart attack because of the way he does his show.
And he does have a very feminine, and I'll absolutely admit to that. I'm too much of a half of a bundle of sticks for ladies around these parts. As a date that was going middle of the road, a little bit better than some dates, but at the end when she was like, "Are you gay?" Oh, this isn't Los Angeles. Your standards of what a man is different, and I am a little feminine for this part of the world for some of these ladies, just like Aaron has his own feminine little qualities there.
He does have some feminine qualities. But here's the difference. I think you can get the scissor jack out of your car and put a donut on if you had to.
I did. I've done it twice. The first time I had a whole bunch of self-doubt, and I've done it twice. I can fucking do it.
That's what I don't think he could. I don't think he could. If he got a flat tire, he's calling AAA or all care towing.
Good concept, sir.
I also got to talk to our contact in the other thing today. And it looks like something's gearing up for the fall, and I'm really excited.
Ooh.
And if it happens.
Okay, I believe this is what I was referring to earlier. This is, once again, he was talking about this thing in preliminary time movie. There's preliminary talks. He's done this before, of where there were preliminary talks of him coming back to the radio, and he was letting us all know, dummy, knock it off.
That's what I mean. Like he, you know how people don't like to say stuff because they jinx themselves. He's the exact opposite. He will say whatever he has to say, to try to facilitate something. And I remember that him and April were like, we're in some talks, and then nothing. It's already a summer later. We're a year later. This was last summer. He was getting back on the radio.
If I get all of it in one fell swoop, I go back to having a part-time broadcasting job. If I get a little piece of it at first, could knock out a couple of evening shows every week. So I'm very excited about that. I hope it all goes down.
Yeah, back to him not being able to change a tire, not knowing where the little knob is to turn the water back on. Very much like Stuttering John. As non-handy as I am aware of those knobs to turn the water on and off underneath the sink.
That's what I mean. Like you were saying, there's different levels of manliness and recognizing you're not.
Maybe an 8.5 in Los Angeles. Here, I'm definitely below a 5. And the ladies don't like it. And actually, I'm putting myself back in that mindset of the day to where I was like, well, where that just got me all horned up of like, oh, let me show you how well a gay man can fuck if I am a gay man.
Good point.
She wasn't going for it. And I wasn't even looking for sex on the first date until she started accusing me of being gay. It's like, well, I have just got to show you the sexual prowess of a homosexual man, according to you. Based on my past experience, I believe I am going to be better than at least half.
Yeah, good. Well, I'm proud of myself to be in also the better than half category. Also, getting labeled a homo a lot.
Yeah, I don't want to hype myself up to say the best you've ever had, but based on the past, I do believe I'm going to be on the good side of the bell-shaped curve.
Yeah, that's a good confidence builder in life too. So all these young guys out here, you'll find the one that boosts your confidence in that way.
And there are some swing and a misses. There is a size queen who I was with, who
really?
My size is good for most of the women I was with, but this one size queen, nope.
Oh, probably nope for me then too.
they make vaginas in different sizes, the way they make dicks in different sizes, and and her vag, nope.
Oh, with like a punching balloon, you know the big balloons you can fill up.
Usually I'm able to hit all sides at once. Apparently not with her.
Well, I'm going to make fun of her.
I did talk to them. I'm like, has any of this internet horseshit like affected our status with this? And he goes, he literally, this is how little the internet matters in the real world. He goes, in actual business.
Yeah.
He goes, what internet bullshit? Like, you guys don't, like, those of you who think like we're causing problems, you don't matter.
No,
like,
no, we do matter to you.
Actually,
we matter to you.
It's legal bullshit as well as internet bullshit.
Yeah, right. No, he's in legal bullshit that he's got to worry about. But he's the one that takes the internet far too serious. He always brings up the internet like an entity, and he's in constant battle with this dragon. You know, like, I don't get it. I know when I walk out my front door, don't nobody care about what's going on in this room. You know. Yeah, and
he basically holds our career in his hands. He goes,
I agree
with
you.
All lives matter.
Well, yeah, you know.
What internet bullshit? I don't. He did say, he goes, oh, you mean that retard from Las Vegas that calls once in a while? He goes, yeah, we just figured he was an idiot. And I'm like, yeah, well,
you're pretty sure that's one of the no words for YouTube. Knock it off, Aaron.
Right about that.
From Vegas?
Yeah. I go, well, you're right about that one.
I miss it too. I miss the half a bundle of sticks word too, but you work around what YouTube will accept.
That would be correct, sir. But I was very excited about that today. A lot of things to be excited about steel toe wise. I think we're going to bring our buddy Benny back.
Yeah.
And that's really awesome. We're just, I mean, things are looking good. Matt and I guess we can announce, Matt and I came to an agreement on a new deal for Matt.
Yeah.
Matt got signed.
And guess what? The goal is going back up again. Where's Matt's raise coming from? You and you and you and you and you.
So what's the raise though? Is it going to be $100 a show now instead of the 50? 75?
You said the goal was dropping. Well, I guess that limited time offer of fulfilling the goal at $150 is off the table, back up to what it was, because Matt gets a raise. Come on.
Yeah,
no.
I know. Minimal addition to the show.
Everybody's making their money. Everybody's making their money, and I'm really excited about that. Fly High says, did you talk to 101 about coming yet? I haven't yet. I got to get on that now because they got to start promoting that. That would be really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really doing that. I'm calling.
I know you're going to do it. I have no doubt about that.
Do you think they'll do it?
No.
I have no doubt.
I don't think Gary would.
You don't think they'll, if I offer them like $800 for a remote?
I don't know if Gary would.
Really?
Grifting for money for those remote broadcasts. Good luck with that.
Yeah, exactly. He's got to pay to be on the radio again, which is what we accused him of doing before. He was
his own production. What is it? Production assistant. Like he sold ads and he was on the air. Usually those are two different people. But the money in radio, it's dwindled down to like, okay, you're doing more jobs beyond just being on-air talent. You're selling the ads as well now, buddy.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And that's the sales department or whatever. Like they sell the airtime so you can work and get paid. He's selling his own airtime. That's why Stoney's is a thing. All Care Towing was a thing. Midland Armory was a thing. There's only people that were sponsoring him in the St. Cloud area. That's so fucking weird, man.
I don't know. I'd be surprised if he did. I mean, I would love. It would be fucking awesome.
I would be impressed.
I would love to hear Steel Toe being advertised on Rockin' 10. Oh wait, I don't listen,
bro. I would be really impressed.
If
he said no, like that would impress me. If he morally just said no on moral grounds, like you, dude, and we're not doing this, that would really impress the shit out of me.
Okay,
you got to understand for.
Johnny back at his egg. So we're getting towards the end of the 2 hours, and I did have this Will Heron clip on deck, but I would actually like to go off topic of Steel Toe. So Thorough Joe Burrow put together a little compilation of Chrissy Mayer talking about Nick Rekieta. So we're kind of in the same world here. As she completely bombed her interview with Nick Rekieta. I believe that's the universal opinion of just letting him blah, 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 blah without questioning him. He got his lawyer speak. So Chrissy would be the judge that he would absolutely love with his lawyer speak of creating doubt where there shouldn't be. And So Thorough Joe Burrow put together this compilation of Chrissy talking about that interview and her excessive blinking 260 times in this 145-second clip.
Whoa. I did not see this.
Obviously the allegations or whatever are not good for Nick. Everybody knows what's out there. Everybody knows that one of his kids tested positive for coke on a hair test. Like everybody, the facts are all out there for people to read. So like you don't need me.
Wow. Okay. Fun.
And so fun. Yeah, that was the fun part.
Well, let's go and check out Violet there in the lower left there for a moment. You have breasts for streaming. Absolutely, Violet. I have no idea who you are, but me gusta mucho. That was. Are you part Latina? She looks like she's Latina crossed with something. Are you a Jewish Latina? You have that certain kryptonite that has me ready to simp, preparing to simp.
That one thing Chrissy got right was keeping better looking women than her on her own show. Like she gets a whole gaggle of women. You can watch it in mute, and I suggest anybody who wants to watch Simcast just mute it and then watch it, and you'll be all right.
I've never really been into Chrissy's looks, especially being someone who is a self-admitted horse face like her, a long face with not much of cheekbones. There's multiple women who I've been really attracted to with that look, and everyone calling her a horse face. It actually happens so often. I'm like, really? She's a horse face? No wonder I'm into her. That's kind of been my thing. And the fact that people are like, Chrissy's a horse face, I'm like, really? I'm not into her the way I am with horse face ladies.
Yeah, I don't know. She looks a lot different now. I mean, even prior to having a kid, she started looking different about a year ago. I don't know what it was. Maybe just streaming all the time, but yeah, I think she was smart to get an all-girl panel going, and because that's going to get eyeballs no matter what, especially if you got people like Violet.
Thank you for
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
Yeti. Violet knows what she is doing.
Yeah, that's what Chrissy knows what she's doing by getting other girls that knows what they're doing, I should say.
Oh, and look at Violet's color coordinating there with the violet cover, violet mic cover, violet top, very much like Jade Million, who I believe
Nice.
will be on tomorrow. I've definitely got her upcoming either tomorrow or next week. Sexy lady doing some singing there, Jade Million on TikTok around the clock.
Nice.
Okay. Fun.
And so fun. Yeah, that was the fun part. And then the not fun part was, I guess the cops showed up at the Ricadas house, and one thing led to another. The 5 kids go to the grandparents' house.
I don't know if this is regular now of her blinking, but her and the Blinky Jedi should have a blink off. A good old Richard Ojeda, who I hear John has kind of turned against Blind Mike, or at least has him not communicating with anymore when they were getting friendly. That's unfortunate.
Oh, really? Richard isn't talking to Mike no more? Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, I believe they were getting friendly, and John put a wedge in between them. I could be incorrect there, but that was kind of fun. That Blind Mike had him on as a goof, and it's like, oh, we're becoming kind of buddies here. I believe there's a stuttering wedge being driven in between those two now.
Yeah, you're right.
House there's like, okay, is there some child endangerment going on? That's all being figured out. And it's a lot to sift through because it's basically this happened in May, and it's like everybody, you can watch all the content and decide for yourselves. But I give Nick a lot of credit because he can handle he can handle a lot, and he can handle people talking shit about him in the chat and in the super chats. And I was like, hey, sure you want me to like read all these off? And he's like, yes, I can handle it. Let's go. So, and I appreciate that. He could just, when times get tough, you could just wither away and just not show your face online anymore. And he's not doing that.
Yeah.
But it did result in his kids being taken away from him. So
yeah, that's really sad.
That's
it
doesn't.
At 5 of them, it doesn't look good. But I mean, it is innocent until proven guilty, I suppose. Yeah, it's fucked. They're all nuts.
And the worst part.
I did have to stop from putting chats up for a moment because Violet's boobs are right there. So let's put it on a pause while we catch up with a few chats. Horses do wear the blinkers. Those I thought they were blinders, but now I do know that those blinders help with their excessive blinking as well. Thank you, Star Chunksta.
Oh, that's weird.
Part about it, Violet, was that like they end up through all this. They end up drug testing, I guess, the kids, and one of the kids tested positive for like cocaine on their hair or something like that. Which
hair follicle, like
hair
that's
follicle.
Not, I don't know how you even. Yeah.
The rumors go from the 9-year-old was doing cocaine to maybe a cop had it on their glove and touched the kid.
That's lawyer bullshit talk, Chrissy, and you're still throwing that out there. She knows how hair follicle tests work as well as Aaron do. Like I am not peeing pot anymore, but my hair follicles are still riddled with pot.
Yeah, right. Especially because you got long hair, and it'll stay in your system for. Dude, one of those kids got into something, or got it on them, and when they tested the hair follicle, it was still present. That's not, an accurate timeline. It could have happened 6 months
when
ago.
She was having her breakdown in 2006. Understood that hair follicle test better than these fools do here in 2024.
And she still got everything fucking taken away. But I guess she's all normal now, right? She's got her money. She's dancing with knives. It's okay.
She's getting kicked out of the Chateau Marmont for being
really? Oh no, it's
loud.
over. Nope. Now I'm done. She's losing her house. I can't.
And I do. I've mentioned this before of my nice long lashes that make ladies absolutely jealous. That's something that just doesn't matter to me. But ladies are like, "You son of a bitch," and your luscious lashes. So that might be what's going on here. Is Chrissy? What is she broadcasting 480p here? Have I been broadcasting at 480p? Nope, it's 720p. Like yesterday in the middle of the stream, I realized Papa Meat was coming in at 480p. But yeah, you look of low quality here.
The kid, and maybe it got, I mean,
But
it's everything in
that's
between.
I would think that, like,
yeah.
for them to, I thought that for them to find it in the follicle, it needs to be ingested.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what it is. And it stays for like 90 days with Coke, right? In the hair.
If it's in your hair follicle, no, he
In the
didn't
pee,
just like
Violet, it stays. Actually, Coke gets out of your pee system pretty damn quickly, but it's there. It's not coming out of your follicle, as I know.
Right. And Aaron just mentioned that too about Nick probably binging right after a court date or a drug test. Like, because he specifically said that. He's like, yeah, Nick can piss clean, but then go on a Coke bender and be clean by the next time he has to piss. It's like, dude, everybody knows all this. I hate how people are explaining shit to me like I'm an idiot. But at the same time, not everybody's blowing lines and trying to pass drug tests. So fair enough on that.
And King Yeti and Deadfool are more informed of these false positives that hair follicle tests can give, but it's not from handling the hair. It's not that.
No. Right.
Deadfool and King Yeti are doing a better job of talking about the horse shit that hair follicle tests can be, much more than Nick Rekieta. Oh, the cops handling Coke handled their hair. Much better defense here by non-lawyers. Well, actually, maybe you're lawyers. Maybe these chat rooms are filled with more lawyers than we thought.
Could be, man. You'd be surprised how professional some of these Dabbleverse people are. It's really strange.
accidentally touch the kid's head with
yeah.
I'ma do my stuff. Dude, I can't blink that much. I was trying to keep up for a minute. My eyes started watering. Hey, what's up, Jakey? Little Jake Hudson.
So yeah, apologies once again to Trainwreck TV for not being able to jump on earlier this morning. If I would have set my alarm, I could have gotten up. But it was a little late once we started that correspondence. Me and JJ Dabbles, who's doing a fun job over there, and Helga and Lisa being part of the gag rather than resisting the gag. So that's fun that they decided to be in on the gag rather than resistant to the gag.
Jay Bra, lawyers are idiots too. They can be idiots too. So,
New Girl is in that chat. New Girl stops in here from time to time. I believe Corndiff brought her over, and she's she sent out a tweet recently of follow my YouTube. I'm not doing anything, but I might, and I put it comparing to Simp Spaceballs GIF in there. Because nice photos, New Girl. You are not the style for Luigi Greenberg with them tats, but up my alley.
She's very cute. She was in the Spurgtopia Discord too. A lot of people either kind of pick one or the other. You're either on Twitter or on Discord, which I get. So it's managing all those.
I've been less active lately on the Discord. I was very active, but definitely fun over there in the Spurgtopia Discord, just as it's fun Sunday nights over with Spurg Snake, with the Family Feud, and I think you might have competition. Did I hear Unboxing Eric is moving to Sundays? We'll find out soon.
They can't do that. I had Sundays first. I stole it from Earl. I stole Sunday night from Earl, and now he can't. No. Friday night, Unboxing Eric. That's what it's been. It's what it will be.
I hope that
Is
they
Electra
keep
in the chat.
Because if I think I heard that last night. I might have heard wrong. But you've also got those music stream on Spurg Snake's Secret Stash, your YouTube channel.
Yep. And the most recent one was like atomic songs. Like these are all songs from the late 40s to the early 60s. And there's a lot of civil defense breaks in there. So like Tony Bennett will tell you that, I can't remember the phrase now, but it rhymes. Civil defense is common sense. This is Tony Bennett. Make sure you keep an eye out for the red commies and blah, 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 blah. So it's like, there was so much Red Scare stuff. I didn't realize until I started listening to all the civil defense promos, the LORAD stuff, like pay attention.
I was familiar with that through film history and the House Un-American Activities, all the Hollywood stars that were either outed or just accused of being a communist or communist sympathizer that were then blacklisted from the industry. That's part of Hollywood history, the House Un-American Activities. So that's always a weird time in our history. You talk about the good old days when we weren't at each other's throats, but nope.
No, we
were. There's always a reason, just like the life of Brian. I love when the different resistance groups get together and there's just petty little difference that they end up squabbling over rather than fighting the power. That's the history of humankind.
The Judeo-Christian front, or the front of Judeo-Christians, and then there was another one, and he's over there. There was like one guy sitting off to the side. That Life of Brian was ahead of its time. It was, well, not ahead of it. It was a product it's very good, and it still holds a lot of weight now, especially with all the soapbox people. When he was walking down the flea bazaar, and there was like 17 different religions, and then he drops his shoe, and somebody, it's the shoe of the Lord, and they start falling. It's so great. And the other one bit that I really loved was the haggle bit. He's like, just give me the gourd. He's like, no, but you got to haggle. That's not how you haggle. You have to. I say 10. You say 9. Right? You know, and he like just give me the.
He does it half-assed, and he still wouldn't accept that. No, that's not how you haggle.
That's right. It's so good. It's so funny. Those Monty Python movies were pretty good.
Your new girl senses were correct. I was talking about the preparing to simp that went along with the gif of Spaceballs that I dropped. If you start doing something on your channel, I am ready for simping. Much more than I would be ready to simp for the Simpcast. I guess there's someone simping for her over there on the Simpcast. Otherwise, that is just flat out false advertising.
There's a fun game that new girl will play if she's in the Discord. She'll make a recording of her thickest accent, and you got to decipher what she says. And there was a couple she did, and I was just like, oh, wait, what? Because I really like English. Like, there's 4 different English accents I can think of. I can't do them all individually, but there's a couple. And new girl's a northerner. She's a fucking northerner. Like, it's real soft, and we treat our southerners like they treat their northerners in the UK right there, or I should say in England, London.
Oh,
whatever.
And I did forget to drop the plug for the theme of the show. I mean to do that right after the intro every time. Mr. Blue Sky's Free Collective. He does a lot of ambient type of music. That, of course, is one of the eerie types of tracks from Mr. Blue Sky. And tomorrow I will be back to 3 days a week, Tuesday through Thursday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern, for TikTok Around the Clock, as I take 2 different times around TikTok and present you some weirdos, oddballs, hotties, and just plain what the fucks. That's 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Making my way towards monetization. Electra started a rally earlier and closed that gap just a little more. Thank you for getting that goatee back to regular butthole size almost. And that didn't exactly work. It kind of worked. It didn't exactly work. I did drop a goatee joke on your latest Family Feud.
I saw that too. That's why I'm laughing, because like,
yeah, that word was right there on the tip of my butt. Yeah, like, subscribe, notification bell. Dylan from somewhere, almost to monetization, and then I do believe I need to edit out the outro from every single episode to get officially monetized. I bet that's like, no, that's a cigarette commercial, but it's campy silliness, damn it.
Yeah, I know. I love it.
Actually, promoting cigarettes.
First in line with tobacco. First again with tobacco men. I love that Lucky Strike thing. Oh, down to 10. Real quick, you were at 19 yesterday, and I thought you were going to be at 19 today because I wanted to go, no, 19. That's like my. Now you're 10.
I was down to 16 when the show started. So that rally is closing that gap, getting to monetization. And yeah, I do believe I'll reach out to Casey Day. And they recommended, hey, you don't need a business right now. You don't need an LLC, but you do need a fucking accountant to help you keep track of this and get some of those business expenses for Casey Day and Electra to do a new intro and outro. And now I'm talking like Aaron. These are the things I'm going to do for this show, folks. I'm going to improve it by doing a photo shoot and upgrading the thumbnails. And I should not talk about what I'm going to do. Just fucking do it.
That is his big problem. Well, I think you're kind of shooting the shit for the audience right now. That's a little different. It's not like you're, hey, hit that goal so I can do a photo shoot. Hey, hit that goal so I can. You're not doing that.
These are getting the business to a money loss of actually doing all these things that I'm talking about, rather than pulling a profit. And help me get to neutral. Send in them supers.
Yeah, right, exactly. PayPal, Venmo, Streamlabs, StreamYard.
Buy me a coffee. Oh, that actually wasn't on the Blind Mike Begathon. Buy me a coffee wasn't listed on all those. That's one that they missed.
Yeah, the Ko-fi. Yeah. Co-5. That's a good one.
But that was it for today's episode. Any last words? Yeah, sounded like you might have had something there, or were we just going to ramble a little more? Because this is
I was just going to say, big ups to the chat. Thank you, chat. Thank you. You know, everybody. Like Cap just said, it's a fun hang with me and you. I'm always happy to do a show with you and hang out with chat. Same thing with Electra. You're going to be on Lunchbox today. If I can, I'll jump on too. But I'm going to take care of the dog and go do things.
Yep, and I do hear the dogs doing shit. I think I might have to go help out with those. Let's sign off for realsies. Thank you all for joining. Now, feel free to go away. Where's that outro?
Well, it looks like that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for going on this adventure with me. It's fun being with friends. I'll see you next time. Bye now.
Bye for now.
Toodaloo. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Ciao. Ding dao day.
Places all. All join hands, circle left. Now circle right and listen to me. LSMFT. Elementary corners like swinging on a gate. To right, dear honey, with the right left date. Grand right and left around you go. Lucky strike means fine tobacco. Meet your honey and give her a whirl. All swing around with the little girls. Smoke 'em, then you'll see. LSMFT. Promenade and don't you fall. Promenade around the hall. Lucky strike is first again with tobacco men. Promenade straight down the pike. It's time right now for a lucky strike. Yes, for smoking that you're bound to like, you just can't beat a lucky strike.